Hello once again, it's Anthony Benici here with a Brain Blinkers bullet point. Today's session is going to focus on how to get traction with values. Now, I work with a lot of corporates with lots of value statements, mission statements, and I guess what I see, to cut to the chase, is a lot of companies who have values in place but have trouble making them work in the workplace. Whether it's through consistency or adherence to those values or keeping people accountable to those values. How do you measure them? It's quite a tough ask. I was working with Queensland Health just yesterday, working with the Metro North leadership team, and this came up a lot. And one of the examples I gave, or one of the stories I shared, was a personal one that I had when we were in San Francisco only in 2016 with the family. The kids wanted to go to McDonald's, and I said there's going to be one McDonald's trip on this US trip of 4 weeks, and you can have it today. So we walked into McDonald's. It was about 10 in the morning. The kids were quite excited to taste McDonald's, thinking it was going to be so different to what they experience here in Australia. And as many of you would know, in San Francisco, there are many homeless people. And we walked in, we were just about to order, and a guy tapped me on the shoulder and said, "Hey, can I have a burger, please?" And I said, "Sure, what do you want?" And he ordered a couple of burgers, and he looked at me in the eyes and said, "Thank you very much." My kids were just watching. So were a lot of people in the restaurant. So the lady behind the counter who was taking my order sort of judged me a little bit by saying, "What are you doing this for?" And I made quite certain that don't judge me or him or anyone, just serve us the food and it'll all be done. So I got the food and gave the couple of burgers to this guy, and he said, "Thank you so much." And he walked back out again. And I walked out of there with not a word spoken. And my wife, Julie, she'd gone over to get some coffees from across the road, and my kids ran straight up to her and said, "Mum, you should have seen what Dad did." And I said, "Hang on, kids, I would expect you to do the same thing." It wasn't a big deal. It was a couple of bucks for a couple of burgers. So that one little story, that one example, I think has said more to my children about the act of charity, giving to the people who need it, giving a little of what you have. That lesson, those values in action was said clearly, not through my words, but through my actions. So the message out there today, if you've got values in a company or in a business or in a relationship, the best way to make them live is to enact them yourself. Start from the top, start from you, and live them to get traction with those values so that people judge you based on how well you live them. So I trust that's helped you today. I look forward to working with you again soon.